Welcome back. We are here with the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set review, and we are on to green. We're back again with Shells, CJ, and our man Skips on the ground floor. It's been an interesting set so far. We're keen to get into green. Without further ado, we'll start with Shells on Airship Crash.
Alrighty, let's kick this off. Airship Crash, 2 and a green, instant. It's the stock standard naturalized type card, which also can kill a flyer, so it can destroy an artifact, enchantment, or flyer. It's got cycling though. This is a great sideboard card for green, but I don't think I'm main decking it at this point. So 1.5. Let's just go 1.
Yep, I'm a 1 as well. Card's fine.
I think you'll see one in the main in most green decks. Like with the amount of artifacts, enchantments, and random flyers, I think it's a 2.5 for me. I think I'm putting this in my green deck. Like cycling 2 to get rid of it if you don't need it. There's artifacts. There's heaps of artifacts. I love it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I could see this definitely going in the main deck at some point, but I think I'll definitely start off the season not main decking it, but the cycling 2 is nice, so I'll go 1.5 for now.
I might up to 2 actually. CJ's right about the artifact and sagas mostly is what I'm thinking. So yeah, let's up it a little.
Yeah, I think you'll always just have one, even if you're just like, I have this card. And killing a flyer is always pretty gas too.
All right, we got Ancient Adamantoise, a 5 colorless triple green pip creature turtle. It's an 8/20. You don't see that very often. It's Vigilance and has Ward 3. Damage isn't removed from this creature during cleanup steps. All damage that will be dealt to you and other permanent control is dealt to this creature instead. When this creature dies, exile it and create 10 tapped treasure tokens. Yeah, I think this card is not good. I would give this like a 1.5.
Did we see something previously that had some kind of interaction with how many treasures you do? But even then, like 8 mana for an 8/20 that you can eventually just beat down. Vigilance, I think it's playable, but it's a huge body. It's a giant pain to deal with. And like Vigilance and Ward, I think it's like a 3. I think you could play this in like those ramp decks. It's not the most broken deck I've ever seen, but it could definitely be a pain.
Yeah, I'm a bit higher. I think it's just such a big body. I know it dies over time, but yeah, I'll go a 4. I just think it's big body, it blocks, stabilizes you, attacks pretty well. So yeah.
Yeah, this card's a bit of a meme for me. At 8 mana, you really just need to be like almost instantly winning the game. I'll go at 2.
Right. A Realm Reborn. It is a 6 mana enchantment at the rare slot. It has other permanents you control have add 1 mana of any color. Oh, it's an interesting one. We've seen this effect on cards much, much cheaper, but they didn't tap for any mana. But even in 2 sets ago, we had a 3-drop that did the same thing that came back when it died. I think this card's kind of a stinker, but hits permanents. So I think it's like a 2 for me. I don't want to see this at turn 6. Like by then, I've got the mana that I need. I don't want to see this. So I think it's a no. I'm going to go lower. I think it's a 1.5. I'm not going to play this card. It's not going to be in my deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say 0. I'm never putting this in my deck.
That's so brutal.
It's a 0 for me too. I would never play this.
I think this card, unless you've got some sort of combo or something where you need a ridiculous amount of mana, the key text with this card is it's permanents you control, not creatures you control tap for a mana. But to me, this reads as just a classic commander sort of card, and yeah, it's like a 0.5.
Yeah, I'm going to lower to a 1. I think someone will do something dumb with this, but 0 for me is like it doesn't go anywhere. But someone's going to put that in their deck at the pre-release.
That doesn't mean it's good, CJ.
That doesn't mean it's anything more than a 0.
Balam T Rexasaur, Rexasaur, whatever it's called. 4 and double green for a dinosaur 6/6 trample. When this creature enters, you gain 3 life, and it's got forest cycling. I think this is just going to go in your decks most of the time. I'm not taking it higher than a 2. I think it's fine. Yeah.
I like this card. Gain 3 life is just always such a pleasant effect, especially on a 6-drop. 6 mana, 6/6 trampling. I haven't seen a ton of massive creatures in this set, so I feel like this could dominate the battlefield. I think it's a 2.5 at least.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best of the land cycling we've seen. I think I gave the white one a 3.5, and this is, I think, as good. I think you really like it in the landfall deck. A 6/6 body for 6 is great. I think, yeah, again, harker back to Colossal Dreadmore in, I think it was Ixalan, was always great. And that set was pretty powerful. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this a 3.5.
I think it's equal to, if not the best of the ones we've seen. Like, it's even better than old mate Marlborough. But yeah, for me, I think it's a 4. I think it's a fantastic common. This is, every time I play green, I'm going to play this card. Like, every single time. The top end is so big. A 6/6 trample that like gains 3 life. Man, I think this card's fantastic. I'm playing it every single time.
Bard's Bow, 2 and a green, artifact equipment with job select. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has reach, and is a bard. And the equip cost is 6. Okay, so you get effectively a 3/3 reach straight up. Are you ever re-equipping this? 6 mana is kind of a joke. As a 3 mana 3/3, really. I'm going to give this a 2.
Yeah.
Could be lower.
Yeah. No, this is the thing about this set is like maybe this is actually a 3, but yeah, I'm just going to go 2.5. I think it's like fine. You're happy to have it, but it's nothing crazy. And then it has something it can do later in the game. So I think it's 2.5.
Same for me as well. I think it could be a 3, like you said, depending on the set. Like, it could be pretty good value, but right now it's a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go a 2. I like the 2 bits of cardboard that it comes with. Just the equipped is too much for me. It's just a 2.
Bart's and Boko. 3 colors, double green, legendary creature, human bird. It has affinity for birds, and when it enters, each other bird you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. Looks great, nice, flexible fight sort of effect, but it's just to deal damage. Affinity for birds makes this kind of crazy because we have seen a lot of birds in, it creates the 2/2 bird token. So I don't see this being unreasonable to cast on turn 3 or 4 for 3 mana. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid. I'm going to give this a 4.
Yeah, I think 4 as well, without knowing exactly how many birds are in the set, but the chocobos and a bunch of other random birds as well. And I think the red-green is like landfall birds as well, so you can kind of wrath the board. I think it's really good. I think it was 4 as well.
It doesn't rat, it just kills one creature.
Oh, is it not each creature? For each other bird, you can roll damage to target. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's still fine. Like, maybe I'll stay at a 4. I'll stay at a 4. I think it's a good card.
I'm just gonna go 3. I like it. I just don't think it's gonna go in many decks. Definitely a secret red green gold card. And it just really depends how many birds. It's like I could see it being higher. I just 5 mana for a 4/3 or maybe 4 mana for a 4/3, no other effects. If you don't have a bird, is not that great for me. So you can see the upside there.
Yeah, I mostly just agree with Nathan on the commentary there, so I'm going to go a 3 as well.
Yeah, Nathan sort of made some really good points. One thing that makes this card weak is if you do not have another bird, it will do nothing. It's each other bird you control.
4/3.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to come down to a 3 as well. I'm going to lower a whole point because raise some good points.
Stay 4. I think if you have the birds in the landfall deck, you can cast this for 3 mana or 2 mana even at some ridiculous point. I think it's a pretty powerful effect.
Yep.
Blitzball Shot, 2 mana instant common. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until the end of turn. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this card in every single set before. It's hard to evaluate without seeing the whole set in action. It could be great, could be kind of mid. I think it's a fine trick. Trample's pretty relevant. So I'm going to give it a 2.5. I think you're probably going to play it in a lot of decks, but it doesn't jump out of the page at me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be pretty happy to play this. I'm going to give it a 2 because I'm probably going to take more of the 2.5 commons over it and get this late anyway. Notably, this is how you combo kill with the giant Cactuar that we'll see a little bit later as well, which is kind of cool. So, yeah.
I think I've said this before in one of the previous videos, but I'm just not the guy that likes combat tricks very much. So I think this is just okay, 1.5.
I'll just go 2.
Cactuar, 1 green for a 3/3 trample. Big stats, but obviously this is going to have a downside. At the beginning of your end step, if this creature didn't enter the battlefield this turn, return it to its owner's hand. Okay, so you can play this on 1 attack, and then it returns. Why is this good? What am I missing? I can't think of any reason why this might be good. I don't think I like this card, so I might just say there's probably something I'm missing here, but I'm going to give it just a 1.
Yeah, I feel the same. Definitely an interesting interestingly designed card. So I'm going to give this a 1 as well.
Yeah, without knowing some sort of combo that this does, the way this card reads, it almost wants to say like counts as a land or something, so it like gives you landfall regularly, or I don't know. It's just a weird card. I'm gonna go 0.5. I don't see any playability on it really.
Yeah, I'll go 1.5. There's probably something you can broken you can do with this by recasting it, similar to the 2/2 from the previous set, where you can do some pretty cool combo-y things. But I could see it being better in the right deck, but right now it doesn't jump out either. It's just 3 damage, kind of.
Chocobo Kick. It's a 1 and a green sorcery with it has kicker, with the kicker cost being return a land you control to your hand. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. If this spell was kicked, the creature you control deals twice that much damage instead. Yeah, I mean this is a good card. Good good removal spell. You can juice it up if you need to, which then synergizes with the landfall strategy of the red-green decks. Yeah, I think this card's going to be quite good. I'm going to give this a 2.5. I think typically in other sets I would have given it a bit lower, but I like that it works well with landfall.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's probably one of green's better removal spells in common, even though we haven't seen everything. But yeah, it's nothing like the reds and the blacks that we've seen that I've given 3.5 and 4s to. So I think this is maybe a 2.5, but possibly a 3 in the right deck, because that returning a land might be way better than we think it is. Just triggering landfall things again, but yeah, 2.5.
I really like that it's not fight, that it deals damage, I think. And there's a few random things that say when things deal damage, so I do like that. So I'm going to give it a 3. I think it's a fine common, and you probably play 1 or 2, depending on what kind of green removal it has. But yeah, damage is nice, and bouncing lands is cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go... I want to go 2.5, but I think, as we've noticed, except for black, removal's a little on the scarce side, so I'm going to go a 3. I'm going to assume the ability is really, really good, so...
Chocobo Racetrack. It's 3 colorless double green artifact. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 2/2 green bird with the landfall +1 trigger. To me, this is a little bit trap card territory. When you're getting it to turn 5, turn 6, you really don't want to be seeing that many lands. I could see that it's got some power, with your landfall triggers, playing multiple lands, etc. But landfall's a funny mechanic in Limited because, later in the game you really don't want to see lands. And these sort of cards kind of make you think about it in a weird way where you're like, all I want to see is a land. But wouldn't you rather just see a 6-mana spell when you've got 6 mana instead of a land, making a 2/2? So, I think this card's okay. I'm just going to give it a 2.5.
The hard one for me, I think what was the set with the 4-mana enchantment, the Faladar one that you got to make a 2/2 every time a land enters? It had the bonus of buffing your team on the other side. Yeah, but
yeah,
I don't know. If you ramp up to this, get it down on turn 3, turn 4, start making 2/2s that have like land abilities, you're bouncing lands, you can do some crazy stuff with it. I could see it being pretty good. It could be like a slow finisher. It makes all your lands into creatures, which is always, slightly better drawing a land than when you flat out. I'm going to give it a 3. I think I could see it being played, but I could see it dropping back to a 2.5 if it's too clunky and expensive.
Yeah, I really like this. I think even though it's the landfall mechanic, this is probably mainly going to be like the win con in the towns deck. That we'll probably see a little bit later on. I think this is just the effect of Feel the Dead, which is absolute broken card. And I think just turning all of your cards in your deck into at least something is really, really powerful. So I'll give it a 3 as well.
Yeah, powerful card. I'm thinking 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to come down to 2. I think it's worse than even 2.5. I think comparing this with a card like
We've
Feel of Dead
oppositely
is
convinced them.
We've
just
really convinced you, haven't we?
yeah, it's like not even close. Like, and the card you mentioned, CJ Faladar, like that card was good because it made it have to be answered because you could just buff your team indefinitely. Yeah,
I didn't say it. It's a
Yeah.
I'm drawing a comparison.
I mean, making 2/2s is like nothing really. Like, unless you've got like 10.
Yeah. But it's
I don't know,
all
it's
your
just-
lands now are not dead draws. They're now 2/2s.
Yeah, but I'd just rather
That can
like,
sometimes attack for
spells.
3.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I get that, but it turns you dead draws. Anyway.
Clash of Econs. It is a 1-mana green sorcery at uncommon. Choose one or more. Target creature you control fights target creature and opponent controls. Remove a lore counter from target saga you control, and put a lore counter on target saga you control. Holy moly, this card seems bonkers. Like, it's not choose one or choose 2, or there's no restrictions. You can choose all of them for 1 mana. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to remove a lore counter, and I'm going to add a lore counter. Jeez, in any kind of Sagas deck, this thing could be absolutely nuts. And its removal, jeez, man, I think this is like mythic uncommon for me. I'm going to give this a 4. I think this card's bonkers. Like, you could do some nutty stuff, and even at the end of the day, it's a 1-mana fight spell. Like, I think that value is huge.
Yeah, I think for me, removing a lore counter is probably one of the better. Like obviously the fight mode is the best. Removing the lore counter so your sagas stay around as creatures a bit longer is good. I'm not sure how good putting a lore counter on to get another effect. It really depends where you are in the game. I think this is fine. I think this is about the same as Chocobo Kick. But it's a fight, so I'm going to actually say a 2.5. I think I'm fine to play it.
Yeah. Can I just confirm, if you do all 3, you do them in order, right? So you would remove a lore counter, go back a chapter, and then go forward and get
Yeah.
both, but you would get the less value chapter first, right?
Now, when you
do
remove
you-
one, you don't get the ability from the previous chapter.
You don't.
No,
No.
but when you put one on, you do.
Okay, says it in brackets there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, okay, that actually is quite relevant. So I don't think it's as good as I originally thought. It keeps your sagas around for longer, but you don't get the value of going back. I'll give it a 2.5 as well.
Yeah,
when you
I'm
put
a
the
3.
lore counter, you do get the value.
Mm.
Just let you know. Yeah, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just give it a 3. Sometimes these
can
fight
see-
mechanics are. There's often been one green fight mechanic, like Bushwhack springs to mind. That could get a land as well. Looked really flexible. Often wasn't that great. But again, we kind of the sagas are still a bit of an unknown to the group, so this counter thing might be actually the better part of it. We just don't really know yet. So I think 3 for me.
CJ Secret Sleeper. Watch that one.
Colosseum Behemoth, 5 and double green for a base 7/7 with trample. When this creature enters, choose one. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, or just draw a card. Yeah, this is sweet. This is going to be very good, especially if you have a few ramp cards. Destroying an artifact or enchantment with this size of body is much better than the naturalize that we saw as the first green card. I think I'll give this a 2.5 just because the mana cost is a bit steep, but I think it's going to be a very good card.
Seems like a lot of the powerful cards in this set are just so expensive, which obviously they should be, paying a lot of mana. But yeah, I think 2.5. It's pretty good, but yeah, it's quite expensive.
Yeah, just it does look like it kind of wants to go rampy, this green-red deck. And again, we normally you would see 7 mana spells as you really want to do some powerful stuff. But maybe this set getting to 7, 8, 9 mana is normal. So I'm going to give this a 3.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 as well.
Immune with Beavers. It's a 1 green mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact, creature, or land from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah, it's really this kind of card is really hard to evaluate when you don't know how the set plays. I'm going to go a little lower on this. It's not an effect I play too often in limited, even though it's quite cheap. I'm going to give this a 1.5.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of a card in blue that's just like 1 mana, draw a card. It's a great card if you got a bomb that's an artifact, or a creature that's a bomb that you're just trying to get to it as quick as possible. Then these cards are good. I'm thinking of Adventurous Impulse, I think it was, in a previous set. Very similar mechanic. I think it was exactly the same, except it didn't get an artifact. Maybe it was just creature land. So it's a little bit better for that. I don't think it's like a high pick or anything, but in the right deck, these cards are very good. Just getting to where you need to go. Also hitting your land drops. Very likely you'll see a land in 3 cards. I'm going to go 2.5.
Yeah, I agree. It's like budget Oath of Nissa. I think it's kind of sick. It could be cool in the 3 color decks with base green, like trying to find that land or that artifact. Yeah, 2.5 for me as well.
I'm going to say a 2, but I do like that this card hits your land drops for the landfall deck. You're always going to be triggering them. So yeah, 2 for me.
Diamond Weapon. 7 colorless, double green, but it has the spell costs 1 less for each permanent card in your graveyard. It has reach, and it is immune. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to Diamond Weapon. Look, the card's okay. I don't think it's as good as those other 2 big green beefers we saw. The gain 3 Dinosaur Boy and the destroy target enchantment or artifact or draw a card. I would much rather play those than this. To me, this is just okay, mainly because it doesn't have reach. Trample. If this had trample, I think it would be really good. But sometimes these really big, beefy bodies without trample, you just cast them, they're just chump blocking until they just find an answer or win the game a different way, and I don't really like that. So I'm just going to give this I kind of want to give it a 2, actually. I'm just going to go 2. I think it's mid.
I think it's pretty good. If you can cast it for 2 less, 3 less, seems pretty good. Doesn't die to combat damage. I'm going to give it a 2.5, but I could see it being really cool in the black-green graveyard deck.
Yeah, I honestly am going to give this a 3.5. I think this is going to be nuts in the black-green deck, and this is exactly the card you want. You just mill some cards away. It's each permanent, so it's lands as well. Card's absurd.
Yeah, I'll kind of fall in between all of yous. I reckon it's a 3. I can see potential with this card, especially if that deck goes off. So 3.
Yeah, I might up mine slightly. I'll go 2.5.
Esper Origins. It is a 2 mana sorcery at the rare slot. Surveil 2. You gain 2 life. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, exile it, then put it onto the battlefield transformed under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. It has flashback 4, and then the back. Summon Esper Maduin. It is a saga. The first is reveal the top cards of your card, singular, of your library. If it's a permanent card, put it into your hand. The second is add 2 green. And the third is other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until the end of turn. Veil 2, you gain 2 life, then put it on. Yeah. It's interesting, to see the previous card and then go straight into this card where they seem to go pretty much hand in hand. The Surveil, gain some life, set up your graveyard, put some things in the bin, cast it later. think it's pretty solid. Cards like this throw me at the start where I go, it's dumb. And they come out and be really good. I think it's a solid rare. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I like... can you just show me the back again just quickly? Real top card, if it's a permanent card, put in your hand. Yeah, like the back's not amazing. The third part of it, building up a board state by that turn, hopefully you've got a few creatures. So yeah, look, I'm going to stick at 3.5, but I could see it being better, but I could also see it being worse.
I'm also going to say 3.5. I think this card wins the game. Obviously, it has to be answered. It's just a little bit of effort to put into your graveyard and whatnot, which doesn't put it higher for me. So 3.5.
I'm going to give this card a 3. You need to get it into your bin, so you either need to cast it on turn 2 or for 2 mana. And then you have to flashback it, and then on the flip side, it's going to go away when the third chapter triggers, so you lose the body. You need a few creatures on the battlefield for it to be really good. It's a good card, but I don't think it's a bomb. I'll go 3.
I agree on 3. It's another one of these cards that I just don't really know where it sits. I'd rather just be playing a 2-drop creature in a deck that's wants to give all your creatures +2/+2 and trample. So I'm just sort of I find these card designs confusing. Like this reads like almost like a control card, a value card, but then it's like give all your creatures. So yeah, I'm just like a 3 on it, but maybe even a 2.5. I think it's like okay.
Golf's final act: 1 and a green for an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to the power. Put a number of 1/1 counters equal to its power on up to 1 target creature. Okay. I don't like this card. I'm just gonna say a 1. Yeah. You guys go.
Yeah.
What'd you give it, Nathan?
A 1.
1.
Yeah, so it kind of just doesn't stay alive, but keeps its power and toughness and puts it on something else that you control. So you can make a creature you control like bigger. It gives a little bit of value. It doesn't necessarily trade up because it only gets +1/+0 or like So yeah, I'm similar. A 1. I don't think I'll play this too often.
Honestly, like as I was reading it, I'm like, oh, another fight spell, awesome. And I kept reading, and I was just disappointed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, if this gave +1/+0 and Death Touch, I think it's great, but it's just crap. I think 1 at best.
Yeah, 1 as well. If you don't have another creature, like it sucks. Like we've got a +3/+3 for the same cost. Like, why would I play this?
Oh, that's reasonable. Gigantoad. It's a 3 and a green frog for a 4/4. As long as you control 7 or more lands, this creature gets +2/+2. So a 4 mana 4/4 that has upside in the late game. This is just a good, solid, common bread and butter green creature. You wouldn't pick this highly, but it does fill a slot in the curve that could be okay. I typically don't mind these kind of cards, and in the landfall deck or ramp deck, if that's I don't know if that's the red-green deck or not, but I think this card could go pretty good. I'm going to give this a 2.5.
2.5.
Agree.
I like this card, but a little bit lower. I'll go 2.
Gobu Gardener. 1 colorless, 1 green. Tap, add 1 green mana, and it's a 1/3. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this type of card a million times. It's a pity it doesn't have any other text. Like, often we'll see, like, has reach or, it's a 0/3 that you can put a counter or something. So, it's kind of whatever. I think it's, like, okay. I'd just put this as, like, I'm just going to say 2. I think it's really passive. I don't like these really passive dorkies in Limited. You kind of trap yourself into trying to curve out and casting one big thing, and then it just gets answered, and you're like, yeah, I've got a 1/3. So I'm pretty low on it, just 2.
3 for me. I think it's in a format where all the best cards cost really large amounts of mana. If I can get there faster in any way. I'm going to play it. If I'm playing green, I'm probably going to play this color unless I'm playing the landfall deck. But ramp, even sort of the mid-range decks, it's a mana dork. I'm going to play it. I think it's solid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll have it at 2.5 though. I just think it's going to be important with the mana costs.
Yeah, I agree with Heath. I think if your bomb gets answered, you're just down a card because this does nothing on the board really, 1/3. So I'll go 2.
Gran Pulse Ochu. It is a 1-mana plant beast at common. It has Death Touch. So if they're 1/1 Death Touch creature, there's one in every set. Collect them all. Pay 8. Until the end of turn, this creature gets +1/+1 for each permanent in your graveyard. Very interesting card. A 1/1 Death Touch by itself seems pretty solid most of the time. The upside could be pretty gas in the late game, especially because it says permanent. I think it's a pretty solid card. Depending on what you're playing against, it's going to be better than others. I'm going to give it a 2.5, but I could see it being a 3. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, 2.5. This is going to slow down the aggro decks, and I think you'll be happy playing these.
Yeah, I just don't know which archetype it fits into really, but
Black Green Mill.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Even the ramp decks playing it early and stopping people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. It's pretty expensive. I do like a cheap creature that has an effect later in the game, but 8 mana's a lot. I'm going to give this a 2.
Yeah, I think I'd rather this card was like a 2-mana 2/2 with Death Touch, same ability. If the fact that it's just a 1/1, it's like so passive. You kind of just end up in these situations where you're just blocking with it. That's it, because it's like attacking for 1 is just like so meh. Yeah, I think 2's pretty right as well.
Crystal Greens, 1 and a green sorcery. Create a 2/2 bird with flashback for 7. I think this is fine. I'm just going to go a 2. I don't think. I don't think this does too much, but you'll be happy playing them.
I got 1.5 on this one.
Yeah, I'll probably just agree with Nath. Just a 2. It's fine.
It was 2. 2.
It's your boy.
Here it is.
Jumbo Cactor, 5 and green. It's a plant. 1/7. He's got the stash. 10,000 Needles ability. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +9999 +0 until end of turn. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty interesting card.
It's funny.
And obviously it combos with the 2-mana trick that gives trample. Because we only start with 20 life and we would be very dead. Yeah, it's kind of a meme card. It's pretty good though. I'm gonna give this a 2.5.
Oof. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's just like a 3 for me.
I think it's a bomb. I think it's like the win condition of the deck. This is a 4 for me. Like I'm playing this card all the time. Like it kills whatever it attacks into, and if I give it trample, I win the game. I think it's awesome. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Look, if you take this, you're looking for the trample card, but you're also looking for the red card that deals damage equal to its power, so you can shoot someone in the face.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's 2 ways to instantly win the game
The fling
with this
effect.
card. Look, my heart wants to say 2.5, but I think I'm just going to lose to this card too many times. I think it's going to be better than
They're
it
always
looks.
going to
So,
have it, aren't they?
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to lean with CJ. I think my rating of this is going to be wrong though, but I'll go 3.5. I think it's just going to win games out of nowhere all the time.
Yeah, one thing worth noting is it will be fun to see this card play out on Arena when you actually give it trample and deal like 10,000 damage, and how it's going to look on the little thing.
And then your client just freezes and kicks you out.
It's like the Y2K bug. It's the over 9,000, damage bug. Loporit Scout, 2 colorless, 1 green rabbit scout. It's 3/2. Whenever another creature control enters, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, I mean the power level of this card is like so meh. I'm not really a fan at all. I think it's like, Yeah, I mean, this might be, again, it's hard to rate this card because it might actually be a core 3-drop in any green deck, especially a green ag. This is more of an aggressive card. Look, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I think it's like so mid.
Yeah, if there's like some kind of random go wide creatures into the battlefield strategy, like a 3/3 trample for 1 or something like that, who knows? Yeah, it's a 1.5, but I could see it being slightly better. But that
Maybe it's
body
a 2.
sucks.
I'll go to
The
2.
bo-
I'll go to 2.
I'm gonna stay. I think the body sucks. I'm not about it.
Yeah, by itself, a 2, but I can see a world where this in the green-white deck, and you play on turn 4 the make 3 1/1s, and this just attacks for a bunch. That's going to be a bit absurd. I think this card could actually be really good in that deck, but without other support, I'm just going to say a 2 for now.
Yeah, same as Nath. Is that the only card that makes commonish card that makes tokens? I can't
We
think
haven't
of any
seen much.
others.
Yeah, other than like, the off-color ones that make like wizard tokens.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
black. Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's enough token generation apart from that 4-mana sorcery in white. Yeah, I'll give it 2.
Yeah, if this was whenever a permanent enter or like a non-land permanent enters, it gets +1/+1 or something, you could see it being a lot better. But creature only is like really restrictive.
Prishes Wanderings, which is a 3-mana instant at common. Search your library for a basic land card or town card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. When you search your library this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. I think this card's really good at instant speed. Put a counter on something you can use it as a trick and your ramp. Like, this could be really, really good. At worst, it's a put a land on the battlefield, but the ability to get a town as well, which is, I believe, Nathan, if I'm correct, duels as well as lands that have other abilities. Yeah, until we see them on thing. But I think this card's really, really good. I'm probably going to play this in most green decks, even in the landfall deck. It seems great as well. Counters on your landfall trigger, guys. I'm going to give this a 3.5. I think it's really solid.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on it too. I think I'll go 3, particularly as you said, triggers landfall at instant speed just as a combat trick. So it can be 2 combat tricks essentially. I think this is going to play really, really nicely in the landfall deck and obviously the town decks.
Yeah, the key to this card, you guys have both said it, is the fact that it's instant speed, obviously. This effect is not typically instant speed. Getting a land, but having the ability to win a combat plus ramp is really nice. I'm going to go 3.
Yeah, I think this card's bussin', as Matt would say.
Bussin'.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3.5 as well. I think it's like for a common as well. I mean, this reads almost almost like a rare kind of. Yeah, it's really quite good at a common level. So yeah, I think 3.5. I like it a lot. You could definitely play more than one.
Yeah.
Is there any, Nathan? Is there any towns that would be good to get with this that sort of do stuff in combat? Like,
I'm not sure about in combat, but there's some towns with effects. So
okay.
I don't think there's anything. They're more grindy cards.
Like, you can't get a land with an ability that would help you
in combat. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Not that I can see here. There's lands with abilities, but nothing that's going to help you at instant speed.
Yep. All good.
All right. Our next card is Quina, Q Gourmet, 2 and a green for a legendary creature Q. It's a 2/3. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus 1 green, 1/1 green frog creature token are created instead. 2, sacrifice a frog, put a 1/1 counter on Quina. Yeah, this is pretty decent, but as we were saying, I'm not sure how many tokens. Actually, this just works with all the artifacts as well that make a 1/1 token. So
yeah, any treasure or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 3 for this. I think I'm pretty happy with this card.
Yeah, hard to evaluate. Like, if there is lots of token generation, this card seems awesome. Doesn't feel like I've seen a lot, but then think about job select and the treasure makers. Could be better than we think. I'm gonna go 3.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's an easy 3, but it might be quite premium. I'm actually going to go 3.5 on this. I think it looks really good. And it's not
It says
limited.
3 as well.
Sometimes
Sorry.
CJ. Sometimes you'd see
No,
this
no,
card.
no,
It would say only once a turn. Like we sort of see that mechanic a lot now. This has no limitations on it. So I could definitely see multiple turns where you make multiple 1/1 frogs, which, you know, in like any sacrifice deck or the go wide deck, this might actually be quite bonkers. So yeah, 3.5.
You've actually just convinced me. I didn't even click that it was more than once a turn. Like you said, it's usually once a turn. If you play this and then play 2 job select cards and get 2 frogs, and then you're just popping. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 3.5 as well. It could be even better. It looks.
Yeah.
It's one of the
It's just
better
fun, yeah.
like payoff cards we've seen, especially in
Yeah,
tokens.
in the sack decks as well, and like chaff to sack, and yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably actually splash this in the white black sacrifice deck, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You might even splash it in black red with making wizards,
Mm.
and it's good in the landfall deck when you make the 2/2
Yeah,
token
it
birds.
probably
Yeah, the bird
goes.
tokens,
Yeah,
everything.
actually,
yeah.
I might jump up to a 3.5 too. I think it's going to be
Yep. Put me up there
a
as well.
random good card in everything.
Reach the Horizon, 3 and a green sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and or town cards with different names. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of expensive cards in the set, so I can see a world where this is actually okay, but I don't normally like these kinds of cards. If you're at 4 mana, I would prefer to play a 4-drop, such as the 4/4 for 4. So I'm not huge on these kinds of cards. It may play well in the ramp decks, but I'm just gonna go and put this at a 2.
Yeah, it's in the right decks. This is a really great card. You know, I sort of think like in Roaching Dragonstorm from the last set, it was sort of okay card, but in those soup decks, it was really good, and you actually loved seeing it. Yeah, I think it's just like a 2, but it could be a 2.5. I'm just gonna go 2.
A 2.5 for me. I think it's pretty good. Getting pounds as well, which is your duels as well as your lands with abilities, like your best land with an ability, and putting that on the battlefield. I think it seems pretty good too.
I'm pretty much the same as you, Shells, with I don't normally enjoy these cards that much, but I think with how many of the bombs cost 7-8 mana, I think this is going to just be really good. I'm actually going to give it a 3 for that land deck, the towns deck, and I'm predicting now there's going to be some sort of soup deck as well.
Alrighty. We have Ride the Shoe Puff. 1 colorless, 1 green enchantment with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. You can then pay 7 mana, double green. This enchantment becomes a 7/7 beach creature in addition to its other types. Yeah, cards like this are weird. I think of what was it? The green enchantment from a couple of sets ago. It was like at combat you added a +1/+1 counter. It was like you could level it up. You know?
Oh, that card. Yeah, the talent.
Innkeeper's Talent.
That's it.
And Innkeeper's Talent, I think it sort of seems like it's a great card. Don't get me wrong, but it is one of those cards that if you don't answer it, it can just take over the game. You just end up in this point where opponent plays it on you, they have a decent board, and you're just like, well, how am I going to beat this? Like, if you don't have some kind of answer for it. And that uncommon as well, you could definitely draft more than one of these. Maybe that's good. And then it's also got late game potential at 7. I'm gonna go 3 on this. I think this is interesting. One to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'm the same. It reminds me of that cactus dude from Outlaws. That card gets really bonkers, but can also be
Billy Boy.
Bristleback or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems kind of that. I think it's a 3. It could be worse if you're out of creatures and not drawing lands and all those kind of other effects. But like even late game, like having a 7/7 just for 7. Yeah, so it's 3 for me.
Yeah, I'll go with 2.5 just because it doesn't affect the board early, but it's got a really, really good effect. And honestly, like as soon as you read this card, 10-year-old me when I was playing this game and the flavor text here going Ride the Shoe Puff,
Ride the Shoe Puff.
It was stuck in my head because he's like the dude that travels you, and it's just all he says. So anyway,
5 for flavor. Yeah, I mean, This card isn't as good as the other rares mentioned, obviously, but it is a powerful effect. Requiring a land to trigger it obviously makes it worse. You know, if you play this on turn 3, you can't go land 3-drop. You'd prefer to go 2-drop then land, and you kind of waste a mana. I'm just going to put this at 2.5.
There are a lot of tap lands though with the towns. I think they're all just enters tapped, so it's not like that silly to just play a tap land source on turn 3 or 4. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, it's a good card. I just 2.5.
Rydia's Return. It is a 5
Rydia.
mana.
How dare you?
Rydia's Return. It is a 5 mana green sorcery. Choose one. Creatures you control get +3/+3 until the end of turn. Return up to 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Oh boy, this is interesting. We've seen similar overrun effects that were the top end of Foundations. That I think it was +2/+2 and Trample, and it was kind of a memey card. But there were times where they played a bunch of shitters and they won the game. This could be along the same vein. It has an upside in the second half, like bringing back sagas, bringing back lands, bringing back creatures, all that kind of things as well in the mill deck. I don't love to see it, but I could very well see certain decks playing one, so I'm going to give it a 2.5, but I could see it being better.
Yeah, I think this is going to be absurd. I think traditionally overruns are not good because if you are behind, they don't do anything. I guess this is 5 mana, draw 2, and doesn't help the board at all. So maybe it's not as good, but I feel like having the secondary effect. I'm gonna go 3.5 on this. I think it's just gonna win you a lot of games.
I don't typically like either of these effects, especially on the cost here, but the versatility, or picking whatever's best for the situation makes this card actually okay. I mean, +3/+3 and not trample is whatever. I'm just going to put it at 2.5.
Yeah, I'm really low on this. I think it's 1.5 at best.
Sars Katsroy, 3 and a green for a legendary creature, human pilot, 3/3. When Sars enters, you may search your library for a bird or basic land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Whenever Sars attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, then double the number of 1/1 counters on that creature. On target creature whenever it attacks. This card's really, really good. I'm actually gonna put it up there at a 4. Not quite a 4.5, just based off its Hill Giant stats when it first comes in.
Yeah, I rate this card. This is my favorite green card so far, actually. Yeah, 4 mana 3/3. That's effectively draw a card, and it can attack as a 5/5 by itself. So I think this is good. I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, I agree. If you've got a great bird to get with it, this is like getting into almost bomb territory. Get your best bird. Yeah, I think it's an easy 4. Looks good.
So can I go up to 4.5? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll explain it real quick too. If this attacks as a 5/5, the turn after it comes down, and then the turn after that it attacks as something even way bigger, like huge.
Yeah, it attacks. It gets +6,
and it
+6,
replaced
so
and it
9/9.
replaced itself. So I think it's really good. Sorry.
One, and then it's a 5/5. So then you put a counter on it as a 6/6, and then it has 3 more counters. So it attacks as a 9/9. I mean, I was going to say easy 4.5. I think it's a really strong card, like a tutor effect on a body. Like, yeah, like sometimes you might not have the bird, but getting that land. But if this doesn't die, if you don't kill this card, it's going to get massive. And if you've got other counter synergies as well, like you've got a board with counters and stuff on it already, holy moly, this card can scale. So yeah, 4.5 for me. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think you guys convinced me. Yeah, 4.5 as well. I think it's better than I said.
I'll go 4.5 too, in solidarity.
One of us.
A Sars Chocobo. It's a green 1 green pip creature. It's an 0/1 bird with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay. Yeah, this isn't too bad. yeah, obviously it's not going to be a relevant creature on the battlefield. If you play it on turn 1, it's not going to be good until what, turn 3? But on turn 3, assuming you go play 3 lands, it's going to be a 2/3. So I think this card's going to be okay. You're going to hate it later in the game. But given the versatility, given how cheap it is and how quick it can scale, if you get it on turn 1, I'm going to give this a 2.5.
Yeah, I tend to agree. 2.5.
2.5, I think it's only good in the landfall deck or this counters matters deck.
Yeah, I'm the same. 2.5. I think just not having any power during this late, it's gonna suck. But it's so powerful on turn 1.
Side quest, raise a chocobo. It's 1 colorless, 1 green enchantment. When it enters, you make your little 2/2 landfall bird. At the beginning of your first main phase, if you control 4 or more birds, transform this enchantment, and it becomes a 2/2 black chocobo. When this permanent transforms into black chocobo, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And it has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, birds you control get +1/+0. This looks decent. This looks really good. I think you're more than happy to play a bunch of these. Another one of those cards that gets better in multiples. I think this is probably the best green 2-drop we've seen. And it's got some great synergy in the bird deck as well. I'm going to give this a 3.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a 2/2. It's got all the things and it does all the things, and it has a nice upside when it flips. Yeah, I think it's a 3 as well. It could even be better, but
I'm starting to think that Bart's card is way more busted than we gave the grading for. Now seeing all these birds, I think this side quest is probably the best one. It's the easiest one, maybe to even flip.
Better than
And
the
this
black
is
one,
just
mate.
like
The black one was killer creature when it comes into
I
play.
think this is sort of. Oh no, I think they're about the same. I think 5 mana for that, and then you need 3 treasures to flip is a bit tricky. But this 4 or more birds. Oh no, I think it's up there. It's also
Three's
I want to
less than
compare
4.
this a little bit with Fable the Mirror Breaker. 2 mana make a 2/2 and then it flips and makes another 2/2. It's kind of cool. And searches for a land. I'm gonna give this 3.5.
Yeah, I like that rating. I'm probably going to be a little conservative and go 3, but I think this card has a high power level. I think the flip side being like an anthem to your birds, which apparently you already have
bonkers.
4 of if you're flipping it, a landfall trigger. Yeah, I think it's really powerful. So I'm going to give it a 3, but could see it being a 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, the tough thing with these, landfall can be really trappy. I think it's worth saying, like, in some sets, landfall can actually be so bad without, like, being able to trigger the landfall, getting the lands back, having the consistency of getting the landfall triggers. The cards can be very underwhelming. So, yeah, landfall's a little bit of a watch this space, I think, to see its actual power in gameplay. But, yeah, we're seeing some nice cards, yeah.
Whilst that's true, the flip side of this card gets you a land, so
Yeah,
you
so
get
you're gonna
that.
get it.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's also land cyclers as well, so that helps a lot as well.
Summoner's Grimoire. It is a 4 mana artifact equipment. At the rare slot, it has job select. Equipped creature is a shaman in addition to its other types, and has whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If that card is an enchantment card, it enters tapped and attacking. Very, very interesting.
An enchantment
So
card.
it is a 1/1, I believe. And it's attack, so it doesn't have to do damage. Oh, we've seen some similar effects, but they were pretty conditional, where it has to be tapped, so it has to live after combat, and other shenanigans like that. I think this card could be pretty bonkers. Creature card from your hand of the battlefield. If it's an enchantment card.
So I think sagas mainly.
Yeah.
Like the
Which,
creature
I mean,
sagas.
there's some broken 6, 7, 8 mana sagas. Like, I think this card, the ceiling is really high. The floor is pretty mid. So to average it out, I'm going to give it a 3.5. But man, like attacking with this and then putting in the blue one or the black one or any of those bonkers ones that we were sitting at that 4 and above rating. Oh, it's nuts. Oh, it's very nutty. And then you can equip it and give it to a different creature as well. So, and I'm going to raise it up to a 4. I think this card could be broken. I think it's scary, really scary card.
I actually agree with you. I normally dislike, I think most of these effects usually are unplayable. The fact that this is on a equipment, the fact that you can just then, they kill the something, you equipped it somewhere else, or you cheat something into play, they block this, it dies, equipped onto your big thing, and just keep going. I think it's massive build around though. You can't just put this in any green deck. You need to build around it. You need to be committed to having a lot of fatties. I'm going to put it at a 3.5 for now, but I think it's going to be really, really good. Interesting to draft around. Honestly, I think this is my pick for the most fun build around so far.
I think this card is pure shit, and I don't think I would play it very often. I would give this a 1.
I'd respect that too. Usually they are unplayable.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm just going to go 2.5. It's fine.
Summon Fat Chocobo, 4 and a green for a 4/4 enchantment creature saga. Chapter 1, Walk. Create a 2/2 bird. Sweet. 2, 3, and 4 creatures you control gain trample until end of turn.
Plunk.
This. Sorry. Kaplunk. Yeah, sorry, I didn't read that. Kaplunk. Yeah.
Pleasingly plump summon.
All right, we found CJ's favorite card.
You get to play it and you go, wah!
And then you draw and then go klapunk.
Oh man. Give it to me in 4. I want 10.
I think this card's pretty good. Yeah, I like this card. There's not much really to talk about. It's going to be awesome in Go Wide. I'm going to give it a. I'll still go 2.5 just because it will go away.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at this card, 5 mana 4/4 that makes it 2/2. I'm like, this card's great. And then you think, it goes away later. Is it that good?
Yeah.
So I really find, as Heath has been saying across these videos, that these in particular are the hardest to evaluate. It's probably going to trade off a decent amount of time, so it getting sacrificed isn't as relevant. You know, you have a few combat steps with it, but the downside's there. I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does
that
have...
Chocobo into Rydia's return probably does just win the game as well, though. But yeah.
I'm going to give it a 6 for flavor. But yeah, I think it's a 2.5 as well. It could be a little higher, but man, I'm going to walk some nerds.
Next card, we don't need to hear what you have to say, Heath.
Yeah, I think it's a top end for the birds deck. It has 4 chapters, which is good. Most of these have 3 chapters. 4 is on the higher side. To me, the birds deck is looking very sort of go whitey combo-y, which is funny because I don't think the birds is the green white deck, but it seems like we're creating a lot more bodies in the birds deck than we have seen in the tokens deck. So I'm sort of a bit confused where that's sitting, but I'm actually really liking the look of this landfall birds deck, and this is a great top end for that. So this could be and again, this is at a common, like playing like a couple of these playing 1 on turn 5 and then 1 on turn 6 is actually pretty good. Like you're essentially adding 6 power and toughness to the board both times. I know the Kaplunk ability doesn't stack or anything, but yeah, I think this might actually be a 3. I think this might be an essential top end for that deck. So I'm going to go 3.
CJ, did you read the other flavor text down the bottom?
I did, Nathan.
All right, Summon Fenrir. It's a 2 and a green saga creature. Chapter 1. Search your library for a basic land, put on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Chapter 2. When you cast your next creature spell this turn, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Chapter 3. Draw a card if you control the creature with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power. Let me digest that for a second. So it ramps, gives a creature a counter when you cast it the next turn, and then sometimes draws a card. I'm not loving it. It doesn't, I mean, I guess you're going to have the biggest creature a majority of the time when you play this card because you're going to get to ramp and then you're going to get to play a creature with a bigger, with a counter on it. I'm not in love with it. I'm going to just give this a 2.
Yeah, the card's doing a lot. You know, we're sort of harping on about it over and over again, but the thing that I'm struggling with this saga is like I'm playing it on turn 3, and then am I just not attacking with it because I want to get the other chapters? Like, it's sort of so weird to think about these cards. Like, again, this is sort of built like you're ramping up to get this aggressive cards, to get these bigger creatures on the board. But I'm getting this 3/2 body that I'm just kind of doing nothing with unless I'm already winning. Like, if they have nothing on the board, I'm attacking for 3, great. But then, like, on his, you're like really, I'm looking at this card, you get 1 attack step with it. Like, I don't know, is that really bad? Like it has Summoning Sickness the turn you play it. You get 1 attack step with it, and then the beginning of your next turn it goes away. Like, is that terrible? Like, I don't know, I'm sort of struggling with how to evaluate these. Like,
You kind of want good abilities on the chapters. So
yeah, it's hard. So like this,
for me, it doesn't do enough.
yeah, I like a lot that it ramps. It's obviously like just a great ramp card. I think it is actually like a 2.5. But yeah, it's just, again, it's hard to evaluate. If this stayed around, if this was a creature with these 3 abilities and it happened in 3 turns and then it just stayed
Be
there,
awesome.
I think it'd be like a 3.5. But yeah, it's just really relevant. Anyway, I'll go 2.5.
I think for me it's slightly higher. I just compare it to that 3 mana ramp spell in every green set that says search all over for a land, put on the battlefield tapped. This comes with a body, so like in the aggressive matchups, I get to still cast that spell on turn 3 instead of being like, oh, am I going to take like anywhere from 2 to 5 damage on turn 3 because I'm trying to ramp? Like, even if I don't get to cast the next 2 abilities, putting a land on the battlefield and having a 3/2 to block something with, I'm totally fine with it. And if they don't, then I can cast a 5-drop that ends up with a counter on it. So I think it's playable. I'm probably going to put it in a lot of the ramp decks. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not going to get the other 2 abilities a lot of the time, but I'm happy with the first one and the body. And if it trades up with a 3-powered aggressive creature, absolutely fine. I've got my land. I'm going to play a 5-drop.
Well, very likely you're going to get
Yeah.
both chapters, the first 2 chapters. It's really the 3rd chapter that's like kind of an unknown, but because the 2nd chapter will trigger at the beginning of your next turn. So unless you got attacked by their 2-drop, but why would you block there? Like, you just, unless it was like some
Well,
premium
it's going to
card.
go away anyway. You may as well eat the creature.
But you
Yeah,
want to
I mean,
get to the 3rd chapter. This is sort of what I was talking about. You want to get to the 3rd chapter because you want to draw the card. I mean, drawing the card
I mean,
is
you're
amazing.
taking draw a card for removal spell. I guess that's what you're weighing up, and you've already got your land from it.
Yeah, I mean, we're
They play
assuming the
one
2-drop
drop,
isn't great.
3-drop.
Like it's not like amazing.
They play a 3/3 haste. I get to block that, slow down the board, and then untap and play a bigger dude. So now they've lost a creature, and I've got a bigger creature on board. That's what
I
see
reckon.
it as. The rest is a bonus.
I reckon as well, if your ramp spell, your 3-mana ramp spell is ramping you a card and killing something on blocks, trading something, so you're not drawing a card, that's absurd. There's never been a card that's ever been printed. I actually am glad CJ said all of that because that's what I was thinking when you guys were evaluating it. I think this is a 4. I think this is such an important card.
Yeah, I
And
think I'm going to
it's
come up to a
bonkers.
3. Like, CJ puts it in a good frame by saying a 3 mana get a land into battlefield is like pretty standard. So yeah, I think I'm going to up to a 3.
All right, Summon Titan. 3 in double green for a enchantment creature saga again. 7/7. It's got reach and trample. Chapter 1, mill 5 cards. That's a lot of cards. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's chapter 2. Chapter 3, until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of lands you control. These cards obviously hard to evaluate, but I think I like everything on this. Reach, trample, 5 mana, 7/7, mill 5, return all the lands, make something massive with trample. I think this is a 5.
A 5.
I think it's a 5.
Wow.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's
just
well.
wins the game. They have to kill this.
Nath, like
And
you
like-
only get one attack step with this card.
Your thing, this has trample, and your other thing is going to get what +7/+7 in trample. You've got two, like you've got what 15, 16 power trample on board. I think
Well,
this is
well,
absurd.
This card would be gone at that
It goes
point.
away, Nath. Yeah, like you only get one attack with it.
Oh,
I mean,
but
I get
it's
what you're
attacked
saying, like,
Once it's
yeah.
attacked once.
Yeah, it gets
for
one attack.
7.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying it's
And
not. I'm not
also,
saying it's not
yeah.
good. It's a great card, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I-
think you put
I'm
the nail on the head.
going-
Like this would be amazing if
Yeah.
this was attacking on the third turn when you've got a 10-10
As well, yeah.
Obviously, it's like amazing. I'm attacking for like 17 damage or whatever. But yeah, it goes away, and that's what I keep saying about these sagas. Like it's like playing with my mind. Like, are they like not that good? I mean, this is great. This is great, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, look, it's a good point. I just think if I open this, I'm just like going to slam this and hope that third chapter gets me a win, because I can see you just win from that third chapter. This is just kill on sight. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, I think this is a bomb. I don't think it's a 5. The way I see this playing out, you play this on turn 5, mill 5, you probably hit let's say 2 lands. On turn 6, you return those 2 lands back, so you're probably roughly 7 lands. Let's just assume 7 lands. It hits for 7 and won't die, most likely. And if it does die, you're probably happy enough with that because you've gotten your value out of a trade, or they've used a removal spell and you've gotten the lands back. And then on turn 3, yeah, you're going to give something at least +7/+7 is where I think it'll be.
I mean, you have to have something
and-
else as well. Is important.
Yeah, I know, but you're gonna get a chance to play a 2, 3, 4 drop, and then on turn 6. So I think it's going to deal any part of 10 damage, direct damage. I think it's really good. A bomb. I would probably put this at a 4.5.
Yeah, I agree. 4.5. Like I wasn't taking away anything Nath was saying about the power of the card. It's just, again, without playing with these sagas, I know we say it over and over and over again, but it's really important on these 3 chapter sagas, unless it has haste, you're going to get 1 attack step with the creature. And this is obviously built as a pretty aggressive card. Yeah, I think it's amazing. Happy with a 4.5. But yeah, if this had like 4 chapters, it would be insane. And then it would be in 5 territory. But yeah, that's my feedback.
Not quite as high on it as you guys. I'm going to give it a 4. I don't know. It just feels kind of awkward to me. I know at base it's a 7/7 reach and trample for 5, which is good stats, but you get, like you said, you get 1 attack with it. And then, I don't know, something about it just feels off to me. I like it in working with the 1 mana green spell where you can remove it, counters from it, like keep it
Bonkers.
around. That seems pretty cool. But yeah, it's a 4. I think it's a good card. I'm not saying it's not a great card. It just feels off to me, and I don't know why. There's something about how it plays, and like it could miss with it and all that stuff as well. So it's a 4 for me.
It's fair enough. I think another reason why I've gone 5 as well, it's so castable. All the other really powerful things we've seen in the set are either for the red-white deck or cost a bajillion mana. So that's another reason. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be interested to see how they play out.
this kind of makes me think like because of the sagas, maybe haste effects are way better. So you know how we saw that haste magic was the 2 mana.
The 4 mana red one that gives haste as well.
Yeah,
Play this
the
on turn
fire
5.
crystal. I mean, I think I gave that a 4.5, but haste might be actually way more powerful in this set because of the saga creatures.
Sagas, yeah.
Like imagine
That's
if this
a
had
good- that's a really
haste.
good point.
Like
That's a really good point.
if you went fire crystal turn 4, I mean this is very situational, but fire crystal turn 4 and cast this card becomes insane. But even some of like the 3-drop and 4-drop sagas to have the haste magic effect to give it +3/+1 and haste, or +3/+0 and haste, suddenly it makes the card, almost twice as good because you're getting a whole extra attack step in. So, but yeah, I think just harkening back to the blue one, which was a 4 lore counter saga, returned all creatures and drew a card each turn. Like, I don't think this is anywhere near as close to that card, and we gave that a 4.5 as well. I think most of us did. Yeah, like I think, yeah, we've sort of talked about it, but I think a 5 is like you basically cast it and you're like, well, are you going to concede because I've just like won the game? There's not many.
Ureni.
Yeah, Ureni is definitely a card like that. Like a set doesn't often have a lot. Like it might have 1 or 2 or 3. That's it. But yeah, great card.
We've got the Earth Crystal. I haven't done a crystal yet, so pretty keen.
You haven't done
The
any
Earth
crystal today. I'm proud of you.
Yes, it's a it's a monumental day for me. This is 2 in green for a legendary artifact where green spells cost 1 less. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters put on instead. The ability for and green tap, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. Okay. So you can effectively just divide it across 2 creatures and put 4 counters. Yeah, this is really good. It only costs 4 mana. It doesn't do anything the turn you play it, but makes everything a lot better. I think this might be the best one. I think it's better than the red one, which had a similar effect in the sense that if you left this card on the battlefield, it would just take over. I reckon this is about a 3.5.
Yeah, probably the cost reduction seems to be paying the most benefit in the green color, as we've seen so many big fatties in this color pairing, in this color that it does make sense. I don't think it's as good as the red one. I can't remember if I gave the red 4.5 or 4, but yeah, I'm just going to give this 3.5. I think it's good, and it will win you the game if left unchecked.
You gave the red one a 4.
Yeah, so 3.5. Happy with that.
I think this is pretty close to being the best one as well. I'm going to give it a 4. I think it's really solid, making all your green stuff cost less, counter synergy. But even as just having it sit there and you're dawdling, and then you get to 6 mana, and then you just start making fatties. So it's 4 from me.
Yeah, I don't love all of these, but this is easily affects the board the most. So this one goes up a little bit, but I'm just going to say I'll say a 3 for this one. I think just at 6 mana, just doing that effect each turn, pretty good.
All right, we got Tifa
Tifa.
Lockhart. Tifa. 1 colorless, 1 green, legendary creature, human monk, 1/2 with trample. Whenever land you control enters, double Tifa Lockhart's power until end of turn. Card's a bit memey. I think it's okay. I'm not really impressed with it. I'm just going to give it like 3.
I think it's scary as all hell. Like they play on turn 2, and you're like, oh, it's just a 1/2, doubles into a 2/2, whatever, and then you start doing weird stuff with it, tricks and pumping its power, and the trample is huge. If it didn't have trample, I think it sucks. But oh man, this card's scary. I'm gonna give it it's tough. I want to give it a 4, but it depends on if you can draw the tricks and if you can set it up. So I'm going to give it a 3.5, but I could see it being a lot better. And another one of those cards that is someone's going to play this, dawdle, then play 2 tricks on it and kill me. So I think it's
yeah, but you're going to see the lands coming. Like you kind of can get prepped for what's going to happen. Like you got to play the lands at most like 99% of the time. You got to play the land pre-combat. So like, what are you doing? Combat trick, play the land, and you're like, okay, well I know what's coming.
You can instant speed a land in for 3 mana. Give it
yeah, that's one
then
uncommon. like it only gives +1/+1. So
Sure,
like what attacks for 4.
actually.
It is a common.
That gets the land and +1/+1 counter.
Yep.
It's a nice combo with this card for sure.
It is a nice combo,
Very
but
good combo.
yeah, I think
And on curve.
because the doubling only happens when you have the landfall. So I don't know. I think it's clunky. I don't.
Well, it's going to get the counter and then the landfall. So
yeah, I mean that's 2
attack for
specific
4.
card interactions. I mean, as a general rule here, like
It's just one of. I think this card can be really, really scary. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, people are already freaking out about it in Constructed, but I know this isn't a Constructed stream. But I think it's going to be a scary card. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do think this is. I do agree with you, Heath. It is very A plus B. I do think this is bonkers with that particular common card, which you should get a couple in your deck.
Is it
if
so
you've got
bonkers?
this.
I mean, it's a 4-2. Like, we're talking about it like it's going to win the game. Like, what? It's not that crazy. It's a 4-2 with trample. It's a Dooson
Yeah,
with two
but
cards.
you can
Like-
also you pump this up to a 2 with your landfall. You then cast that 3, it attacks for 6.
Oh, you're
And
saying
then like any
land, then pump. I mean, even 6 is
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's not like it's
6 on
good.
turn 3 is pretty good.
It's
And then
fine.
it just gets better from there. But like if you get counters and things, I do think it is. You have to build around it. Like you have to change your deck based around it a little bit more. But I think it's powerful enough. I'm gonna go 3 only because I do agree as well. It could sometimes play clunky.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to play clunky 50% of the time. I think this is going to work quite well with equipment actually,
Mm.
which is not
Yeah.
really in the green colors, but there are some green equipments. So yeah, I mean, just giving. I think there's one that gives +2/+2. Is that the one with equip cost for 6? But
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Cost 6.
I mean, there are other equipments that. I mean, we haven't seen the colorless ones yet, but like let's
There's
just
some
say you can
bonkers
make it
ones.
a 3 power and then trigger landfall. Yeah, I think the power level of this card's awesome. Tifa's awesome. I only give it a 3.5.
Tifa's Limit Break. It is a 1 mana green instant, uncommon. It is a tiered card, so it's already probably going to be pretty good. Somersault, 4/0. Target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Meteor Strikes for an extra 2. Target creature's power and toughness. Oh, sorry, double target creature's power and toughness until the end of turn. And Final Heaven for 7. Triple target creature's power and toughness until the end of turn. Jeez, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. Is it a great trick? Is it a good trick? +2/+2 for 1's fine. I think I gave something like that a 2.5 or a 3. There's upside to this, like doubling something massive or loading up on Tifa and then doubling it again or tripling it. But tripling is probably really unrealistic. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best of the tiered cards, so I'm going to give it a 2.5. I'm not quite sure how to value this. Like Sherls, I'm not a tricks man, so it's hard to put a good number on tricks. This could be scary and broken, but
I'm the
Yeah.
same. Not a massive tricks person, but again, seems scary and broken. 2.5. I think you'll be happy just for the efficiency as well. But yeah, 2.5.
I think this is just a 2. Most of the time, you're just going to play this for 1 +2/+2. Like for 3 mana to double power and toughness, that's just such a bad rate for an effect. That's you're probably just going to get the same benefit out of paying 1 to just win a combat or whatever. I'm just going to give this a 2.
Yeah, card's okay. It's a 2.
Torgal, a fine hound. 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature wolf. Whenever you cast your first human creature each turn, that creature enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it for each dog or wolf you control. And you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Torgal's awesome. Love the character. Love the card. This is much better than the other mana dork. I'm gonna say with the upside of putting counters on your humans. I kind of want to go 3.5 for this. I think just getting that counter on each creature, each first human you cast each turn is going to be very, very good.
Do we know how many humans there are? Are there a lot?
there's
'Cause
heaps of humans.
Really
If-
depends on how
Heaps.
many humans there are.
Pretty-
Yeah, I could see this playing a bit like, is it Miriam from the set? A few sets ago, the 3/2 that pumped up all the saddles, the mounts, which was just a busted card. So a 2-drop that buffs your creatures permanently is quite strong. I'm going to give this a 3.5 as well.
Yeah, I tend to agree on the 3.5. It's also an any mana dork, which is pretty cool. So yeah, power level of this card looks great, both as a aggressive, curvy deck, but also just rampy deck with some added bonus.
3.5 is me. I nearly want to give it a 4, but legendary. But even then, you'd still probably play 2 because you just want to see it. So yeah, 3.5.
Town Greeter. It's a 1 and a green creature. It's a 1/1. When this creature enters, mill 4 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you put a town card into your hand this way, gain 2 life.
It's
This is
Anyok.
Seder Wayfinder. Yeah, I mean, this is good. This is a synergy card, so it's going to work well in specific archetypes like green black, and I guess if you want, towns. I think this card could be a nice glue card in a lot of decks, so I'm going to give this a 2. Obviously, it's only a 1/1, but I think you're going to want this a lot of the time, so I'll go 2.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's a 2.5.
1.5 from me.
2.5, but I think you're going to be taking it like a 3.
Could say
But
that.
milling 4 cards very important.
All right, Traveling Chocobo. 2 colors, 1 green, creature bird. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast bird spells from the top of your library. If a land or bird you control entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability, a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, and it's a 3/2. Card looks great. Obviously very good in the bird deck. This is your lookout card when you're in that archetype. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of to me, the more and more we're seeing these cards, the landfall deck is just the birds deck. It looks more to be birds rather than landfall. I mean, I know you get the benefit off the landfall triggers, but it looks like we're seeing these really cool synergies with birds, because being able to play bird spells off the top of your deck is actually crazy. Yeah, I think this is like... Yeah, I think you're absolutely stoked to see this. It's struggle with these sort of cards. It's very synergistic. I don't know if this is a pack one, pick one. It really does lock you into a certain type of build, but a 3/2 that lets you play lands off the top is still very good. Yeah, I'm just floating at 4 or 4.5. The thing that makes this card so good is really the playing lands off the top. As we know in Limited, almost half your deck is lands, and being able to play a land off the top is really, really good. I'm going to go 4.5. I'm on it. I like it a lot.
I'm going to say 4.5 as well. I tend to disagree a little bit with it's only a synergy card. I think if I'm playing green, I'm playing this card at the face value of looking at the top card and playing lands. I think that's a really good ability as it is. And then you get all the bonus from the bird stuff. So, like, not only do you get rewarded for taking this early, then if you do want to draft the birds deck or the landfall deck, or if they're the same deck, that's just a payoff as well. I think the card's awesome. I'm going to play it. If I'm playing green, this is going to be my deck if I find it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. 4.5 for me.
Yeah, great card. I'll go 4.
Vanille, cheerful.
Let's see.
Let's see. Thanks, Nathan Jones, flavor expert extraordinaire. It is a 4-mana legendary creature, human cleric. It is a 3/2. When Vanille enters, mill 2 cards, then return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. At the beginning of your first main phase, if you both own and control Vanille and a creature named Fang Fearless, let's see, you may pay 5 mana, 3 green or black. If you do, exile them and then meld them into Ragnarok Divine Deliverance. So this is the other half of the meld card we had.
Cool art this time.
Does it have
going off?
What was it? It was a 7/7 Vigilance.
No, 7/6, I think. 7/6. Yeah, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Flying, if I remember right. But yeah, really good.
Flying.
Oh, it's an interesting card. Like, it's a 2-card combo in itself. It's hard to say. Like, you get value out of it when it comes in. It's a permanent you can get back. And that attached to a body's not too bad. Like, usually, like, Gravedigger was a 2/2 for this rate. It has the upside of, if you do get that other half of the card, that it's going to be pretty nuts. And that other half does cost 3. So as Nathan did mention in a previous video, you can go 3, 4, 5 and meld them, in a perfect world, I guess. But yeah, I think this card's pretty fine. I think I'm going to give it a 3. No, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I like the added value because it doesn't just say you have to get this to get the meld. Like, if you're not doing the meld, it just sucks. So at least you get something else when you're not melding. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think it's a nice bring back something from the bin card in itself.
Yeah, I really like these kind of effects. I'm giving it a 3.5 as well. Just if you have a bomb, you get your bomb back. Sweet, and it's also a nice body. Mills your graveyard to find your bomb too.
I think it's a 3.5. It's just better than Gravedigger, and that
Yeah.
card was always good in limited, so 3.5.
I like it a lot. 3.5. All right, that's the end. Green is over. And what was there? Literally only 2 mythics in all of green. Poor green, they got stung.
Two mythics, but I tell you what, on average, green is the second highest set behind black. It did beat out white in terms of overall rating, so there's some solid cards in green.
Well, thank you very much for watching. We've now done all 5 of the base colors, and we're going to get into the multicolored artifacts and some of the key lands in the next video. So keep an eye out for that one. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks to Shells above, CJ below, and Skippy Boy on the bottom. And we'll catch you on the next one.